Good morning, students. Today we have to start with next topic of C++, that is control statements. Now, what is control statement and why we have to use control statement? So, students, in the previous lecture we have studied about implicit conversion and explicit conversion, that is type conversion in C++, and we have also studied some special operators. So that was different topic. Now we are going to start with next topic of C++. This is again very important topic because we have to use these statements in the program. So your next topic is control statements. So what is control statements and why we use control statements? Control statements, see what is program? Program is set of instructions. So when we have to execute a program, it means we have to execute instructions. So what is the flow? So control statements provides us way that how we can control the flow of a program, how we can write different control structures in a program, different control statements in a program, and the output of the program totally depends upon the control statements that we have used in a program. And apart from that, it has also provided us way that we can apply different types of conditions in a program, we can apply different types of different looping structures in a program. So all these facilities are provided by C++. Next thing is control statements are how programmers indicate which sections of the code to use at specific times. So it also helps the programmers, it also tells the compiler that what type of section they have to, what type of section or what is the code they want to execute, so they can use condition accordingly to execute specific code. Next is control statements are the elements in the source code that controls the flow of program execution. So it also controls the flow of program execution. I have already told you the output of the program depends upon the flow of the program. It depends upon the statements that we have used in a program. Next is they include blocks using curly braces. So whenever we have to write any condition, we have to make use of curly braces and we write the conditions inside the curly braces. Whatever condition you want to write, you can write inside curly braces. So students, this is the very basic introduction of control statements, that why we use control statements and why we require control statements. So the reason that is why we use control statement is because it helps us to control the flow of the program. Now in this topic we have to study different types of control structures which are provided by C++. So C++ provide us different type of control structures. So these control structures are, it is divided into three main categories. So these control structures are selection statements, iteration statements and jump statements. So students, you have to study all these statements in detail because this is a very important topic of C++ unit. So let's start with the very first category, selection statements. So what are selection statements? So selection statements are the statements which help us to select particular condition in a program. So for example, we have to select some specific condition or we want to apply some specific condition in a program, then we can simply apply it and we can simply execute it by using selection statements. Different types of selection statements are available. So user can apply selection statement according to his or her problem. So different selection statements are if else, nested if and ladder if. So we also have to study these selection statements in detail. Next type of category is iteration statements. Now what is iteration statement? Iteration means loops. So iteration statements provides us facility that we can apply loops to repeat the process. So iteration statements provides us facility that we can make use of different looping statements and we can apply different loops. So in this group we have different categories like while, do while and for loop. So we also have to study these loops in detail. The next category of control statement is jump statements. Now what do you mean by jump statement and why we use jump statements? Jump statements provides us facility that how we can jump from one location to another. That is how we can transfer the control from one location to another. So different jump statements are available. So these are break, go to, continue. So we have three categories in jump statements: break, go to, continue. So students, this is the brief introduction of control statements. What are control statements and why we use control statements, and how the control statements are divided into different categories. So where we have seen that the control statements are divided into three main categories: selection statement, iteration statement and jump statements. So I have already discussed the basic introduction of all three groups. Now let's start with the very first group, selection statements. And in this group we have to study all the selection statements that are available. So I want to make this clear that selection statements provides us facility that how we can choose any specific condition. So now let's check with the very first category of selection statement is if statement. Now what is if statement and why we use if statement? If statement is the decision making statement. See, in the selection statements we have to select particular statement or we have to select particular block. So for this we have to take decisions. So that's why this category comes under decision making statements. We also call it as decision making statement. So if statement is the very simple decision making statement and it is used to decide whether a certain condition or a block of statements will be executed or not. That is, if a certain condition is true, then a block of statement is executed, otherwise not. Now if statement provides us facility that, for example, if you want to apply any condition, if the marks of a student is greater than 60%, then result is true. You have just written only one condition, so it will execute only one case, that if the marks of the student will be greater than 50%, then it will generate the output as pass, otherwise it will not generate any output. So it executes only one case, and it executes that case only if the case is true. So if statement is used to decide whether a block of statement will be executed or not. Okay, now look at the syntax of if statement. The syntax of if statement is if condition. If is a decision making statement. Inside the condition you have to put the condition. For example, I have given you example of if marks greater than 50%. So that is the condition. If the condition is true, then block of statements will be executed. So you have to write block of statements inside the curly braces. So you have to start the curly brace, then block of statements, and then curly brace close. So that is if statement. So if statement is it will execute only if the condition is true, otherwise no action. It will perform no action. Now look at the flowchart of if statement. Flowchart students, in the second lecture, second unit, in the second unit I have explained you that what is flowchart and why we have to use flowchart, where I have discussed that flowchart is a pictorial representation of any program and how we can make use of different symbols to write a flowchart. So this is a flowchart of if condition. So look at this flowchart. Start, very first symbol is start. Now next second block is diamond block. Diamond block means this is a condition. So in this diamond block you have to write the condition. Condition is if. So if the condition is true, then it will execute the next block. So if the condition is true, for example, as I have taken example of if marks greater than 50%, then result is pass. So if marks greater than 50%, then it will execute the true block and display the result as pass. Otherwise, if marks are less than 50%, then it will not execute that block and it will exit from the loop. It will exit from that block. So if the condition is true, it will execute the body. Otherwise, if the condition is false, look at the right hand side. So if the condition is false, it will come outside and display exit, and it will exit from the that block of statement. So this is the flowchart of if statement. Now let's start with next decision making statement. So this is the first decision making if statement, which comes under selection statement. Now the next statement is if else statement. Now what is if else statement? If else statement is a combination of if plus else. If plus else means it will check the condition. If the condition is true, then it will execute the block. Otherwise, if the condition is not true, then it will execute the else part. So for example, let's consider the same example that I have taken in the if part. If the marks of a student if the marks of a student is greater than 50, then the result is pass. Otherwise the result is fail. So in the previous case we have not displayed fail, but in this case we are displaying fail, and that is in the else part. So one of the condition will execute at the same time. Both conditions cannot execute at the same time. Only one of the condition will execute at the same time, either if part or else part. So what is if else statement? The if statement alone tells us that if a condition is true, it will execute a block of statements, and if the condition is false, it won't. But what if we want to do something else, that is if the condition is false, then we can make use of if else statement. So if you want to print both the cases, whether the condition is true or false, so in that case you can make use of if else statement. We can use the if else statement with if statement to execute a block of code when the condition is false. So even after when a condition is false, we can also execute that block to display the result whatever we have displayed in the false block, else block. Now this is the syntax of if else. Look at the syntax. So the very first line is if condition. If is a keyword, students. In the at the starting of this unit, I have explained you about keywords, reserved words. So if is a keyword which has a specific meaning. So if, then condition, you have to apply the condition. So if the condition is true, then it will execute a block of statement. Else part, in the else part you have to write another block of, so otherwise it will execute the else part of the block. Now look at the flow chart. This is a flow chart of if else. The first symbol is start. Next symbol is if condition. You have to apply if condition. If the condition is true, then it will execute the block of statements that are under if block. Otherwise it will exit from that if part and it will execute the else part. So that's why at the condition there is a write arrow. If the condition is false, then it will execute else part and then exit. So this is the flow chart of if else statement. Now let's move to next category of statements. Next is nested if. Now what is nested if? Nested if is when if statement occurs within another if statement, that is nested if. Nested if is an if statement that is target of another if statement. Nested if statement means if statement inside another if statement. So C++ provides us facility that we can create, apply if statement within another if statement. So we call these type of statements as nested if. So this is the syntax of nested if condition 1. So with this type of statement, user can apply two conditions inside a single structure. So if the condition 1, so here you have to apply the first condition. So if the condition 1 is true, then only it will move to the next block. So if condition 1, then it will execute if the condition 1 is true, and it will move to condition 2, then it will check another if condition. So the second if condition is if condition 2, it executes when condition 2 is true. So it means, look at the first line, this is condition 1, and in the third line this is condition 2. So this is, we have applied two if structures in a single structure. So this is the syntax of nested if. This is the flow chart of nested if. First symbol is start, which indicates the start of the flow chart. Next is first if statement. So if the condition is true, then it will execute the body of that block, and if the condition is false, then it will check the next condition that we have applied, and we also call it as nested if. And if the nested if condition is true, then it will execute the nested block. Otherwise it will, if the condition is false, then it will not execute that nested part, and it will exit from the loop or from the block of statements. Next category is if else if ladder. The if else ladder statement in C++ programming language is used to check set of conditions in a sequence. So this is the fourth category of this decision making statement, ladder if. So see students, in the first category we have seen we can apply simple if statement. In the second category we have seen we can apply two conditions, one in if part and one in else part. And after that we have seen third part where we have facility to apply nested if. And this is the last category, ladder if. Ladder if provides us facility that if we want to apply multiple conditions, multiple if statements, then we can apply it by using ladder. So you can simply apply multiple if statements by using ladder if statement, and we also call it as if else if. So the if else ladder statement in C++ programming language is used to check set of conditions in sequence. This is useful when we want to selectively execute one code block based on certain conditions. It also allows us to check for multiple condition expressions, as well as to execute different code blocks for more than two conditions. So it has provided us facility that we can apply number of conditions, and we can execute number of conditions, number of blocks. A condition expression is tested only when all the previous if conditions in if else ladder is false. If any of the conditional expression evaluates to true, then it will execute the corresponding code block and exits whole if else ladder. So it will check the block one after the another by checking the condition that whether the block is true or false. This is the syntax. If condition, in the condition you have to apply the condition, then block of statements whatever you want to write, and inside the else if you have to write second condition and block of statements, and so on. And the last is else part that you have to apply and block of statements. So this way you can write 5, 6 or 7 statements, whatever or how many statements how many conditions you want to write, you can write by using this ladder if statement. So students, today we have studied different types of control statements, where we have studied 3 categories: selection statements, iteration statements, and jump statements. After that, we have started with the first category, that is selection statements. In the selection statements, we have total 4 statements: if statement, if else, nested if, ladder if. So this is simple if statement where we can apply only one condition. This is the flow chart and this is the syntax. Next is if else statement where we can apply 2 conditions, one in if part and one in else part. So this is if else syntax and this is the flow chart of if else. After that, we have studied nested if, where we have studied we can apply if statement within another if statement. So this is the syntax of nested if and this is the flow chart of nested if. After that, we have studied ladder if. Ladder if is where we can apply multiple conditions. This is the syntax of ladder if. So students, with this we have completed the first group of decision making statements and selection statements. So that's all for today. Tomorrow we will start with the next category of C++ statements, iteration statements. So that's all for today.